Hello, bookworms. Welcome to English class of grade 11. Today, we are going to discuss section 1 language development. Under this section, we are going to discuss unit 2 communication. Before starting this passage, before starting this unit, we have a quotation which has been quoted by Mr. Malcolm Gladwell. Here is the picture of Mr. Malcolm Gladwell, who is an English born Canadian journalist, author, and public speaker. So, what does he say to us? He says that good writing does not succeed or fail on the strength of its ability to persuade. It succeeds or fails on the strength of its ability to engage you, to make you think, to give you a glimpse into someone else's head. So, what is the meaning of this quotation? Here, our writer says that actually this is the definition of good writing from Mr. Malcolm Gladwell. He says that the measurement of good writing can't be done on the ground of its influence to others, but the good writing is that which can make us busy to think and which can give us a quick view of writer's mind or thought. Now we have reading section here. The name of our passage is free writing. And before going to know the explanation meaning of the free writing, there are two questions which we have to answer. Question A is, what do the following images indicate? So after seeing these four different types of images, the first one which is shown as the any messenger application. Second one is an example of letter. Third one is an example of email writing, and the fourth one is an example of a tool of communication. This is the heap of newspaper. So what comes to your mind when you see them? So when I see them, only one thing comes in my mind, that is, and these all are the tools for communication. And what do they communicate to people? They communicate to people the feelings, the knowledge, the facts, the ideas, different types of news to the people. Now question B is, what do the following quotes mean? Now, number one, if writing is easy, you are doing it wrong. So what is the meaning of this quotation? Writing is not regarded as an easy work. It contains time and facts and knowledge. So, if you find writing easy, it means you are doing it wrong. Second is, the pen is the tongue of the mind. So, what does it mean? The second quote says that when we write something, our pen talks to the reader because the pen is the tongue of our thought and the mind. I hope you have understood this passage too, and this slide too. So let us move to the next slide. What is waiting for us? So now we have the essay about free writing, and free writing is also regarded as another way to brainstorm a general topic in order to arrive at a specific focus in writing. So what is the meaning of brainstorm? Brainstorm means a sudden idea, any idea which comes suddenly in your mind, and you are, without any editing, writing that particular idea on the paper. So what is this essay about free writing? What is the meaning of free writing? What is the definition of free writing? And how to write free writing without any hesitation or any editing? We are going to find out. So without further delay, let's eat the chapter. So first we have to read the slide properly, then I will give you the meaning of that particular slide. The most effective way I know to improve your writing is to do free writing exercises regularly, at least 3 times a week. They are sometimes called automatic writing, babbling, or jabbering exercises. The idea is simply to write for 10 minutes, later on perhaps 15 or 20. Don't stop for anything. Go quickly without rushing. Never stop to look back, to cross something out, to wonder how to spell something, to wonder what word or thought to use, or to think about what you are doing. If you can't think of a word or a spelling, just use a squiggle, or else write, I can't think of it, just put down something. The easiest thing is just to put down whatever is in your mind. If you get stuck, it's fine to write, I can't think what to say, I can't think what to say, as many times as you want, or repeat the last word you wrote over and over again, or anything else. The only requirement is that you never stop. Free writing exercise is important. It must be a piece of writing which, even if someone reads it, doesn't send any ripples back to you. It is like writing something and putting it in a bottle in the sea. The teacher less class helps your writing by providing maximum feedback. Free writing helps you by providing no feedback at all. When I assign one, I invite the writer to let me read it, but also tell him to keep it if he prefers. I read it quickly and make no comments at all, and I do not speak with him about it. The main thing is that a free writing must never be evaluated in any way. In fact, there must be no discussion or comment at all. So, what is the meaning of this slide? Let us know the meaning. So, this passage contains an essay about free writing, which is defined as a brainstorming the ideas. So, brainstorming, which we already discussed, that brainstorming means sudden or quick idea. The writer Mr. Peter Albo says that if we want to improve our writing, then we should practice free writing at least 3 times a week. The another name of free writing is automatic writing also, because when we write free writing, we don't stop. We go smoothly while writing. It is also called babbling or sometimes jabbering too, which mean to talk rapidly and meaninglessly or a foolish talk. It means when we write free writing, we just have to write without any hesitation. When we start at the first time, we should write for 10 minutes, which can be expanded later for 15 or 20 minutes. We must not stop. We must write quickly but not in a very speed. We don't have to look back to see what we have written and to decide what we write next. We should not mark the cross sign for anything wrong. We must not think about any words while writing. The meaning of above statement is we are not allowed to edit while writing. The writer also suggests us that if we are unable to write anything, then we have to squiggle, means we should draw some curved lines to continue our writing. If we find ourselves unable to write anything, then we should write, I can't think about anything to write, but we must not stop at any cost. The easiest way to continue our writing is to write anything on the paper without caring about our words and any grammatical rules. If we stuck while writing, in place of stopping our writing, we should write, I can't think what to say, I can't think what to say, I can't think what to say 2 3 times, or we should repeat our last lines many times. The whole thing is that the conclusion is that we must not stop. We must continue to write. Here, the writer talks about the characteristics of free writing, that free writing is not editable, and if someone gets our writing, it does not contain any importance. We must forget about our writing after writing it. It is just like writing something and putting it inside the bottle and throwing in a sea. It means we should forget about our writing after writing it. The writer further says that we must not wait for any feedback for our writings because the free writing can't be judged. Here, he gives an example that once he got a chance to read a free writing of any ABC writer, but also he told him to keep his writing if he wants. He further says that after reading that free writing, he did not comment at all and he did not talk to him because about the writing. By saying this example, he wants to say that the free writing should not be judged at any cost. In reality, the free writing is beyond any discussion and comment. So I hope you have understood this slide too. So let us move to the next slide. Here is an example of a fairly coherent exercise. Sometimes they are very incoherent, which is fine. I think I'll write what's on my mind, but the only thing on my mind right now is what to write for 10 minutes. I have never done this before and I am not prepared in any way. The sky is cloudy today. How is that? Now I am afraid I won't be able to think of what to write when I get to the end of the sentence. Well, here I am at the end of the sentence. Here I am again. At least I am still writing. Now asks is, there some reason to be happy that I'm still writing? Ah, yes. Here comes the question again. What am I getting out of this? What point is there in it? It's almost obscene to always ask it, but I seem to question everything that way, and I was gonna say something else pertaining to that, but I got so busy writing down the first part that I forgot what I was leading into. This is kind of fun. Oh, don't stop writing. Cars and trucks speeding by somewhere out the window. Pens glittering across people's papers. The sky is still cloudy. Is it symbolic that I should be mentioning it? Ha! I don't know. Maybe I should try colors blue, red, dirty words, wait a minute. No, I can't do that. Orange, yellow, I'm tired, green, pink, violet, magenta, lavender, red, brown, black, green. Now that I can't think of any more colors, just about done. Relief? Maybe. Free writing may seem crazy, but actually it makes simple sense. Think of the difference between speaking and writing. Writing has the advantage of permitting more editing, but that's its downfall too. Almost everybody interposes a massive and complicated series of editing between the time words start to be born into consciousness and when they finally come off to the end of the pencil or typewriter onto the page. This is partly because schooling makes us obsessed with the mistakes we make in writing. Many people are constantly thinking about spelling and grammar as they try to write. I am always thinking about the awkwardness, wordiness, and general mushiness of my natural verbal product as I try to write down words. So, what is the meaning of this slide? Let us find out. In this passage, the writer draws an example of free writing which is very logical, and according to writer this example will definitely clear our concept about the free writing. So in this example, here is a person, ABC person, who is going to start the free writing for the first time, and he encounters several problems while writing, but he does not stop and continues his writing according to his brainstorming. So sometimes he writes that what to write, what not to write, he is unable to decide, right? He's saying that what point is there in it. He always, he is trying to write something, but his mind get stuck, and he forgets to write anything on the paper. Then he gets diverted, he becomes diverted and sees outside from the window and finds that cars and trucks speeding by somewhere out the window. And whatever the idea it is coming in his mind, he is writing the same cars and trucks speeding by somewhere out the window on the page. He is also writing that pens glittering across people's papers. The sky is still cloudy. Is it symbolic? I don't know. He is also starting to write down the name of the colors, blue, dirty words. Wait a minute. Oh, can't do that. Orange, yellow, I'm tired. I'm also got tired. Green, pink, violet, magenta, lavender, black, green, anything. The meaning of this example is anything, whatever, ideas were coming in the mind of this writer, he is writing the same without any format of grammar, without any editing, without any type of corrections. So this is a perfect example of starting how to write free writing. And in this paragraph he says that the free writing can be considered as a stupid or crazy task, but actually it is a very simple. There is a difference between speaking and writing. The advantage of writing is we can edit it, means writing can be editable, but this advantage is in fact is a drawback of free writing too. We all do the complex edits when any idea comes in our mind and before we start to write anything on paper. It means between the birth of any idea and writing it on a paper, we do hundreds of editing. We commit such types of editing because we are taught to aware about our mistakes from our school days. Means the habit of editing has been started from our school days. Most of us always think about spelling and grammar while writing, but the writer says that whenever he writes free writing, he becomes very discomfort. He thinks about discomfortness. And also he writes very long explanations, and he also mix in his free writing his emotions and his inner feelings during his writings. So I hope again that you have understood this slide too. So without any delay, let's move to the next one. So, but it's not just mistakes or bad writing we edit as we write. We also edit unacceptable thoughts and feelings as we do in speaking. In writing, there is more time to do it, so the editing is heavier. When speaking, there is someone right there waiting for a reply, and he will get bored or think we are crazy if we don't come out with something. Most of the time in speaking, we settle for the catch as catch can way in which the words tumble out. In writing, however, there is a chance to try to get them right, but the opportunity to get them right is a terrible burden. You can work for 2 hours trying to get a paragraph right and discover it's not right at all and then give up. Editing in itself is not a problem. Editing is usually necessary if you want to end up with something satisfactory. The problem is that editing goes on at the same time as producing. The editor is, as it were, constantly looking over the shoulder of the producer and constantly fiddling with what he is doing while he is in the middle of trying to do it. No wonder the producer gets nervous, jumpy, inhibited, and finally can't be coherent. It's an unnecessary burden to try to think of words and also worry at the same time whether they are the right words. So the explanation of this slide is, uh, in this passage, the writer clears our doubt about editing, which we generally do during writings. He says that we not only edit or correct our mistakes or bad writing, but also the dissatisfying ideas and feelings, some same as we do while speaking. In comparison with speaking, writing contains much time for editing, and therefore sometimes the editing becomes heavier. But during any conversation, if we stop for answering of anybody's question, or if we take some time to answer their question, then maybe the other person can think that we are crazy or we are making him bore. We actually don't stop while talking. We use any possible method to convey our meaning. In writing, we have an option to correct our writing, but in fact, it causes a lot of problems, such as we correct the paragraph by wasting our time, and when we realize that our paragraph is not correct, we give up our writings. We stop to write free writing. The writer further says that editing is not a mistake or not a bad activity while writing. It is necessary when we want to conclude our writing with satisfaction. But the editing causes problem when we start editing before writing on paper. It means it continues on the same time. Here he presents an example of the editor. Who is editor? Actually, what the editor does, he continuously look or watch the writer, and regularly he disturbs or makes him angry in the middle of his writing. By such type of disturbance, the writer becomes nervous, angry, irritated, and unable to relax, and he loses the grip of the topic too. The activity of thinking of words and worrying about their correctness at the same time is an unimportant and unnecessary load or task we usually carry. We must know we must know all these things while writing the free writing. So I believe that you have got all the ideas regarding this free writing and regarding this slide 2. Let us move further now. Now, the writer says that the main thing about free writing is that it is non editing. It is an exercise in bringing together the process of producing words and putting them down on the page. Practiced regularly, it undoes the ingrained habit of editing at the same time you are trying to produce. It will make writing less blocked because words will come more easily. You will use up more paper but chew up fewer pencils. Next time you write, notice how often you stop yourself from writing down something you are going to write down, or else cross it out after it's written naturally. You say it wasn't any good. But think for a moment when the occasions when you spoke well. Seldom was it because you first got the beginning just right. Usually it was a matter of a halting or even garbled beginning. But you kept going and your speech finally became coherent and even powerful. There is a lesson here for writing. Trying to get the beginning just right is a formula for failure and probably a secret tactic to make yourself give up writing. Make some words, whatever they are, and then grab hold of that line and reel in as hard as you can. Afterwards, you can throw away loosey beginnings and make new ones. This is the quickest way to get into good writing. So, what is the explanation of this slide? Let us find out. So the writer says to us that we must know that free writing is non-editing, means we are not permitted to edit while writing. The free writing is an exercise or a practice of putting together the method of producing words and writing them on the page. When we practice such exercise, it reduces or removes our deep rooted habit of editing. This practice makes our writing smooth because we use our words without editing. When this happens, we will use more paper rather than biting up some pencils. What does it mean? It means we start to enjoy our writing, and at the same time we stop editing too. So next time when we write, we should notice how many times we stop ourselves, or we can make a cross mark there. Because of our habit, we can say that this writing is not good, but we should think about that moment when we speak in front of some people. When we start to say, we hardly start with correct words, but when we continue to speak, our speech becomes more logical and more powerful. The writer gives us a lesson here about writing. He says that if we try to make our beginning right, then it can lead us to failure and it can finally make us to give up the practice of free writing. We must not think about the start, but must write whatever the ideas come in our mind without editing. We should write any words, whatever they are, and we should continue to write about them without any editing. And after some time, we will be freed from our bad start and we will be able to make a new one in a very short period of time. This can be the quickest way to learn good writing. So, I believe, I hope you got my points regarding this slide. So let us move to the next one. Now here, the habit of compulsive premature editing does not make writing hard, it also makes writing dead. Your voice is damped out by all the interruptions, changes, and hesitations between the consciousness and the pitch. In your natural way of producing words, there is a sound, a texture, a rhythm, a voice, which is the main source of power in your writing. I don't know how it works, but this voice is the force that will make a reader listen to you. The energy that drives the meanings through his thick skull. Maybe you don't like your voice, maybe people have made fun of it, but it's the only voice you have got. It's your only source of power. You better get back into it no matter what you think of it. If you keep writing in it, it may change into something you like better. But if you abandon it, you will likely never have a voice and never be heard. Free writings are vacuums. Gradually, you will begin to carry over into your regular writing some of the voice, force, and connectedness that creep into those vacuums, written by Mr. Peter Albo. So, what is the meaning of this slide? Let us find out. So, writer says that our habit of uncontrollable and incomplete editing makes our writing hard and tough. Actually, in fact, this habit makes our writing dead. Our writing will be hampered by disturbances, changes, and doubts when we think and going to write at the same time. When we naturally produce any words without any blockage, then there is a sound, a texture, a rhythm, and voice. These are the main sources or main elements, main parts of writing. Here, the voice means the meaning of our writing and the message of our writing. He further says that we must have confidence of our writing. Sometimes maybe we don't like our writing and maybe people make fun of our writing. But it is our own writing and only way of writing, and in fact we don't have other way of writing. So we must revise it to make better even if we think that our writing is not good at first time. If we keep practicing, then one day we will change our writing, we will make it better. But if we stop writing, then we can't convey our message, and therefore we will never be heard. At last, the writer says that the free writings are like vacuums, means blank space, empty space. We can fill this vacuum by practicing our writing regularly with force or with energy and attachment, which can make a way to go inside in these empty places or vacuums. So, this is the writer of this text, Mr. Peter Albo. You can see in the picture. And here is a brief description about his life and his career. So, he is a professor of English emeritus at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where he also directed the writing program from 1996 until 2000. He writes about theory, practice, and pedagogy, and has authored several books and papers. He is one of the pioneers of free writing, and all this information has been taken from the Wikipedia. So let us move to the next slide. So we have here ways with words, and we have crossword puzzle. Down means from up to down, and across means from left to right. So I have given you here the probable answer. So try to get the answer. Try to do by yourself, and if you stuck there, you can take the answer from here. Now here in B question, we have used the following words in sentences of your own: massive, consciousness, catches, catch can, give up, abandon, losey, editing. So try to make sentences by your own, because all these words meaning I have already mentioned in my previous slides. And if you stuck over there, if you cannot get any idea, then you can use these probable answer from this box. Now question C is word formation, adjectives and adverbs. Read the following sentences from the text and notice the words that are underlined. Do free writing exercises regularly. Go quickly without rushing. No wonder the producer gets nervous, jumpy, inhibited, and finally can't be coherent. You can't throw away loosey beginnings and make new ones. So when we go to the question 1, we are finding regularly, right? It is underlined. So regular is an adjective. Regular is an adjective, and when we are adding ly at the end of any adjective, it becomes an adverb. So in this way, regularly is an adverb. Now question number 2 is go quickly without rushing. So quick is also an adjective, but when we add ly at the end of any adjective, it becomes an adverb. So quickly is an adverb. Now question number 3 is no wonder the producer gets nervous, jumpy, inhibited, and finally can't be coherent. Jumpy, the jump, jump, jump is a noun, and when we are adding y over there, in any noun, when we are adding y at the end of the end of the word, then it becomes an adjective. So jumpy is an adjective. Now there is loosey. So loose is a noun, and when we are adding y suffix, y pratyay we say in Nepali vyakaran, then it becomes loosey, which is an adjective. So the underlined words in A and B are adverbs, and C and D are adjectives. Notice that we can form adverbs by adding the suffix ly to an adjective by adding the suffix y to a noun. So whatever I said, same the writer has said here. So before going to know about the formation of adjective and adverbs, let us know what is the adjective and what is an adverb. Adjective means when we are adding something. Means an adjective is a word used with a noun to add something for its meaning. In simple words, a word that describes any person or thing is called an adjective. So in example, a big house, red wine and clever idea. The big, red and clever are adjectives as they describe noun, wine and idea, which are nouns. Now what about the adverb? An adverb is a word that describes the meaning of a verb, an adjective or another adverb. So Sam moves quickly. This is a very sweet plum. Monica reads quite clearly. So quickly describes the verb moves, very modifies or describes the adjective sweet, and quite describes the adverb clearly. So the quickly, the very and quite, these all are adverbs. Now how to make an adjective using the noun? So when there is a noun and we are adding y suffix means pratyay and prefix means upsarga, right? So you have already studied in Nepali Vyakaran, I hope so. So when we are adding y suffix at the end of any noun, then it becomes an adjective. Like here we have example, dirt is a noun, and when we are adding y at the end of the dirt, it becomes dirty. It means this is an adjective. So similarly we have storm, stormy, cloud, cloudy, wealth, wealthy, cream, creamy, taste, tasty. Now how to make an adverb, formation of adverb. When we have adjective and at the end of any adjective we are adding ly suffix, then it will become an adverb. We have example here, clever, we are adding ly, cleverly. Clever is an adjective, and when we are adding ly there, it becomes cleverly, which is an adverb. So similarly we have kind, kindly, quick, quickly, happy, happily, ready, readily, wise, wisely, foolish, foolishly, beautiful, beautifully, heavy, heavily. So I hope you have got the idea to how to form an adjective and adverb. So without any further delay, let's move to the next slide. Now question B is here. Write the following words in the right columns. Change the adjective into adverbs and nouns into adjectives as shown in the example. So now we have to find out where is the adjective here and where is the noun. So we have to collect the adjective in the table or the column of the adjective, and we have to collect the nouns in the column or the table of the nouns. So likewise here, careful is an adjective. So in careful we have to add ly, and it will become carefully, and it will become an adverb. So we have to make adjective adverb table and nouns to adjectives table. So rain is a noun, we are adding rain y, and it becomes rainy, and it is a an adjective. So likewise these all are the list over here, and we have to change them into adverbs and adjectives. So probable answer is given over here in this box. Try to do yourself, and if you got stuck over there, then you can use this box for your reference. Now question C is there. Fill in the gaps with the appropriate adjective or adverb. Pramila is playing quietly, Hari speaks very loudly, Mukesh is a careful driver, the test was easy and we finished in time, he is fitting the automatic door in my house, my uncle speaks perfect Chinese, it was raining very heavily, she looked very calm, but I am sure she was feeling very nervous. So probable answer is also given in this box. Try to do yourself and try to match up the answer from this box. So let us move to the next one. Now we have question answer section, comprehension section. Question A is, why is free writing also called automatic writing? The probable answer would be, free writing means writing by just brainstorming and without thinking or editing. Therefore, it's called automatic writing. How do you differentiate writing from speaking? Writing has the advantage of editing, but speaking does not allow us to do so. And if we edit while speaking, then it could make the listener bored. In this way, I differentiate writing from speaking. Question C is, what is the biggest obstacle in the writing process according to Albo? Do you agree with him? Why or why not? So the probable answer would be, according to Albo, the habit of compulsive premature editing is the biggest obstacle in the writing process. Yes, I agree with him because schooling makes us obsessed with the mistakes we make in writing. So we constantly think about spelling and grammar while writing, hence our writing gets blocked. Question D is, how can free writing overcome writer's block? So the probable answer would be, free writing can overcome writer's block by practicing of bringing together the process of producing words and putting them down on the page. Now question CE is, what do you mean by voice in writing? It is said that the pen is the tongue of the mind. It means our writing is our voice which communicates to the reader. So in writing, voice represents our thoughts and ideas. And number F, the last question is, Albert uses a simile to explain that free writing is like writing something and putting it in a bottle in the sea. What does this mean? Explain. So, free writing is like writing something and putting it in a bottle in the sea means free writing does not provide feedback at all. Even if someone reads it, so it's worthless to know about it. So I hope you have understood the comprehension section too. Now we have critical thinking, question A, B, and C. So what are these? Let us read them. So how does the author persuade readers in this essay? What is he trying to communicate to the readers? Question B, Elbow said free writing is an exercise in bringing together the process of producing words and putting them down on the page. Do you agree with his statement? Why or why not? And question C is, how did you learn to write? What was particularly difficult in writing? What inspired you to write? What are some of the challenges that you still face while writing? So, bookworms, I want to say to all the bookworms, that in this section all these three questions answers are hidden and explained actually by me through different slides. So try to go through those slides again and you will get the answers of these questions too. If you will get stuck or if you are unable to get the answer, then you can comment in my comment box so that we can discuss the issue there. So now we have to move further without any further delay. Now we have the writing section here, and it is all about the free writing. What is free writing? And it is already discussed by us, although the writer has rediscussed here that free writing is like brainstorming. It is simply exploring your ideas through writing. When you free write, you write whatever comes into your mind on the topic. You write without stopping. Most of the free writing exercises are of short duration, around 5 or 10 minutes. When you free write, you need not worry about the formal structures, mechanics, or grammar. Now, there is a question. Decide a topic of your choice for free writing exercise. Write a paragraph on the topic for 5 minutes. Do not stop for spelling or go back. Just write as much as you can. When you finish, you can share verbally what you wrote to your friends. So try to do yourself. It is very easy topic. Now we have the paragraph organization. What is paragraph? Let us know first. So the paragraph is usually a group of sentences on a topic. Most of the paragraphs are often 5 to 10 sentences long, but they can be longer or shorter depending on the topic. Bookworms, I would like to tell you that there are 4 parts of the paragraph, and through these diagrams I tried to show you, try to clear your concept about the paragraphs parts. So there are 4 parts. One part I have not written over here. It's a typo error. This is known as the topic or title or name of the title. So when you see this example here in this box about the paragraph, then you can see the topic name here, topic's name, eating habits. So topic, or we can say that the name of the title is the first part of the paragraph. And now second part is topic sentence or statement. Topic sentence means topic sentence or statement or introduction, we can say. It means when we start to write our paragraph, and when in this a line we have to write down the definition or the meaning of the topic. So we are talking about the eating habits, so that's why it is written over here that what is eating habit or what do you mean by the eating habit. And in number 2 part of the paragraph, it is known as supporting sentence, details, or sometimes body also. So what we write in supporting sentence, the supporting sentence is all about a brief description, a brief explanation of the title. Now you have to write down the pros and cons about of your topic, advantages, disadvantages, benefits, dark sides, positive sides, negative sides, such type of things you have to include in this section. So that's why it is known as the body. And the last one is concluding sentences or summary or sometimes conclusion also. What we have to write, we have to share our own feeling or view regarding the topic. So I have given you the idea about the different parts of the paragraph through different color of inks. In red color it has been shown, and it is for the topic sentence. In black color ink it has been shown for supporting sentences, and for the blue color ink, it is used to show the concluding sentence or summary. So I hope you have understood the paragraph, the meaning of paragraph, the parts of paragraph through this example too, and also you came to know that what is free writing. So I hope you got all the points which were discussed with in this slide. So let us move further. So now we have question here. Write a paragraph on any one of the following topics. My school library, moral values I like most. Use your creative mind and try to write yourself. Now we have grammar section, position of adverbs. Now what is the meaning of position of adverbs? Adverbs, we know what is adverb and how to make an adverb. We already know this. But here we are going to discuss about the place of adverbs or position of adverbs. Means in a sentence where to put the adverbs in their correct position, where to place the adverbs in their correct position. Like here we have three examples. Perhaps she is not coming to the party. So perhaps is an adverb and it has been placed just beginning of the sentence, right? And in question number B, I sometimes visit him in the supermarket. So sometimes is an adverb too, and it has been placed between subject and the verb. And the C number is he drove the car carefully. So carefully is also an adverb and it has been placed at the end of the sentence or after an object. So here the words in bold are adverbs. Adverbs can be placed at the front, in the middle, or at the end of the position of a clause or a sentence. So we have three different rules here to understand the position of adverbs. So let us find out. So rule number one is adverbs of manner which answer the questions how. How means kasari. For example, well, the word well, fast, carefully, quickly, calmly, etc. These are actually placed after the verb. So we can see it is raining heavily. So heavily is an adverb which answers the question how. You know and it has been placed just after the verb. Raining is a verb. He works carefully, the ship is going slowly, etc. are the example of adverbs of manner. Now, rule number two is adverbs of frequency, which answers the question how often. Kati kati bela, kasari, um, you know, kun bela, you know. So these all answer, these all questions answers, fall under the category of adverbs of frequency. So some words like always, never, often, rarely, sometimes, usually, generally, barely, seldom, hardly, neatly, nearly, just, quite, etc. normally put between the subject and the verb. Now we have his wife always cooks. So his wife is a subject and cooks is a verb and always is an adverb, and it is placed or it is put just between the verb cooks and the subject his wife. Likewise, we have here he has never seen a lion. I have often told him to write neatly. I quite agree, etc. and etc. Now rule number three is adverbs or adverbs phrases of places like here, there, everywhere, now, then, yet, today, next Sunday are placed after the verb. Like he will come here, I looked everywhere, hang the picture there, I met him yesterday. So there is question B. Rewrite the following sentences with the adverbs in the appropriate place. So we have to use often, ever, sometimes, always, seldom, usually, also, and both in a proper place while making these sentences. I have given you the probable answer here for the example number one. I watch television, so I have to put often in between of watch, that is verb, and I, that is subject, because often is the adverbs of frequency. How often we have already studied about the often, so we have to put it over here. So likewise, I have done all the answers here, so try to do yourself by using your creative mind. And if you try to match up the answer, if you want to match up the answer, the probable answer is given here. So let us move to the next slide. Now we have rewrite the following sentences, placing the underlined words in the right position. I never have understood her. We are often invited to the parties. We all were tired and we all fell asleep. Rajan drives always to work. Pradeep hardly ever watches television, but he reads newspaper a lot. We enjoyed very much the party. My brother speaks fluently English. So underlined words are the adverbs, and where we have to put in that sentence, in these sentences, this is the question. Now I have given you here the probable answer. Try to go through them. Before going through them, try to do yourself by using your mind and try to match the answer from this box. Now we have here listening section. So bookworms, I would like to tell you that we are, the CDC, the Curriculum Development Center, has not provided us any type of audio or visual materials regarding, discussing all these things, all these questions. So that's why I think that we should skip this, you know two exercises. Now we have question C. What are your ideas about preparing notes for study and examination? Discuss. Try to do by yourself. Now we have speaking section. We have speaking slide here, expressing agreement and disagreement. So what is the meaning of agreement? Agreement means sahamat hunu. You know, means you are agree with someone's statement, and disagreement means when you are rejecting the idea. He studied the expressions of agreement and disagreement in the following table. Agreeing, partly agreeing, and disagreeing. Now see, in agreeing, we have some expressions, by which we can use in the, you know, agree, agree statement. For example, if somebody is saying to you that the earth moves around the sun, then this is the universal fact. So you will definitely say that you are right because you are agree, right? So likewise you can say exactly, I agree, of course, undoubtedly, I completely agree, you are absolutely right, I totally agree with you, absolutely, I see exactly what you mean, that's exactly what I think, there is no doubt about it. Apart from this all expressions, I have tried to given you from my side, that is, you said it. What is the meaning of you said it? You said it means हजुरले त्यही कुरा भन्नुभयो जुन कुरा म भन्न खोजिरहेको थिएँ, भन्न सोचिरहेको थिएँ, मेरो मनको कुरा हजुरले भन्नुभयो. So that is the way to say this meaning as you said it. I go with you, certainly, obviously, literally, I totally accept. Now partly agreeing. What is the meaning of partly agreeing? Means the anybody who is saying some, information to you that is partly true but partly not true, or you are confused, you know so there we have to use partly agreeing. For example, if somebody says that, you know coronavirus is the world's most dangerous virus, or it is the world's most lethal or deadly disease, then you can say that that's partly true, but according to me, coronavirus is just a normal virus. Actually, it cannot kill all the people, but those people whose immunity system is not so well. So you are partly agreeing about this statement, so you can say that that's partly true, but that may be true, but I see your point, but I guess so, but I'm not sure about that, I agree up to a point, but, and from my side I have given you here, your way is right, but that's the fact, but you may be right, but I think. Now let us move to the disagreeing section. Now disagreeing means you are rejecting the idea at once. For example, if somebody is saying in front of you that the earth moves round the Venus, not round the sun, but round the Venus. So if somebody is saying in front of you that the earth moves around the Venus, so this is a wrong statement. So what you will say? That's not right. I totally disagree. I don't agree. I don't agree with you. I am sorry, but I disagree. Absolutely not. A complete no. I'm afraid I can't agree with you. That's not always true. I don't think so. No, that's not true. No way. So from my side, I have given you here, I undoubtedly disagree. No, you are literally wrong. A big no. I reject your saying, opinion, idea, or thought, or view. I'm sorry, but you are literally wrong. So bookworms, I hope you have understood this speaking section also regarding the agree, disagreeing, and partly agreeing. So let us move to the next slide. Now here are some statements that you can agree or disagree with. Talk to each other using expressions of agreement and disagreement. So we have to use agreement and disagreement. Now for the example, it is given here, winter is the best season. So for example, your friend says that winter is the best season, so you can use agreement like expression of agreement like, yes, you said it, yes, you are right. But if you don't like winter, then what you have to say when you are disagree with this fact, then you have to say your fact is right, but I think, you know summer season is the best season. So in this way you have to make all these statement into agreement and disagreement expression. Now we have here project work in a group of 5 and list 5 hobbies like traveling, photography, etc. Create a pack of statement cards for each hobby. For example, photography is an expensive hobby. Each person in the group picks up a card and reads out the statement. The players take turns to say if they agree or disagree with the statement and give reasons for their opinion. So I want to tell you that try to do yourself. This is a project work. It can enhance your ability of thinking, so try to do it yourself. And I hope, bookwormers, that you all have understood whatever I have given you, the ideas regarding the chapter, as well as regarding all the slides. So I hope you have understood. If you have any question, any misconception, any misunderstanding, you can discuss those all misunderstanding in the comment box. I am always ready to help you there. So let us move to the next slide. Now this is the time to say goodbye to you, you know by saying stay healthy and stay safe, because the corona time is going on, right? So that's why I wish your sound health, and I wish your safety too. So thank you very much for attending the class. Stay healthy, stay safe. Once again, thank you so much.